Hazbin Hotel is premised on there being an annual extermination where angels come down to massacre as many demons as they can. We are told this is due to population issues, but I have theories that heaven might have other motives for this, and perhaps even more shocking, that Lucifer himself may be behind it all, or at least playing a part in it. I'm Deepcut, welcome back to Cartoon Universe, and before we jump into it, I just want to remind you guys that we are having a live stream Q&A with the Hazbin Hotel pilot cast right here on the channel. There will be two streams, one on Saturday, May 22nd, and one on Sunday, May 23rd, both at 10 a.m., with half the cast being on the first stream and the other on the second, so make sure you subscribe so you don't miss either day. I'll include a link in the pinned comment and description down below where you can buy an autographed print from any of these amazing voice actors, and then you can watch them sign those prints live that weekend. See you guys then! Now, when Hazbin Hotel begins, we can see that the extermination had just taken place. Now, of course, we are told that this is an issue with Hell's overpopulation, but why should the angels care about that? We have seen in Helluva Boss that, at best, people from heaven are extremely petty. The cherubs may have caused a massacre, but it's not like any of these people stopped existing. If they're good, they go to heaven, and if they're bad, they go to hell. It's not great that the cherubs accidentally interfered in their lives, but with eternal life already existing, it was really silly for them to be thrown out of heaven, and that's kind of the point. Now, this is the lighter and cheerier side of heaven, with the exorcist seemingly being the more sociopathic and cruel side, but that should really highlight how little they would care about hell's overpopulation issues. The worst case scenario is that they suffer due to lack of resources in hell, which is kind of the point of hell to begin with. And it could even lead to the masses being able to simply overpower their overlords so that every single person in hell would be suffering, as opposed to the elites like Valentino or Vox, or even Lucifer and Charlie getting pretty good lives while everyone else suffers around them. And that leads us to the first theory, which is that heaven isn't actually behind the exterminations themselves, but rather it is Lucifer's doing, or at the very least he is somewhat involved in it. To start, it has been said in behind-the-scenes interviews with VisiPop that Lucifer is a fallen angel. Now, in Christian lore, a demon is often thought of simply as a fallen angel, essentially just a change in title, but over time, most people began to think of them as separate evil entities from angels, rooted entirely in evil. While we have theorized that imps could just be hellish versions of cherubs, VisiPop has said that heaven won't just be an inversion of hell, and notes that Lucifer's status as an angel gives him dominion over all demons. Right now, we are not 100% sure what this means, but it has also been said that certain laws of hell are put in place by angels. Some of these laws are likely from Lucifer, and others are likely from actual angels, but it does go to show you that Lucifer is not the same as the other demons that are native to hell. With that in mind, why would angels need to exterminate the demons manually? Why would they have to make it a hunt of sorts, instead of using angelic powers to force the demons to kill themselves once a year? Or simply line themselves up so that they could massacre them all in one go? Obviously, we can't really say how much power angels really have over demons and what they can force them to do. After all, we didn't see the cherubs exercising any particular power over the imps, and whatever power angels has over demons, it may be restricted to elites, higher up angels, such as Lucifer himself before he fell. But with this power, you would have to imagine there is some way that some angels would be able to help with the extermination by controlling demons. They can already restrict them to the Pride Ring apparently, as that it seems to be one of the laws put in place by the angels. So why can't they make them hold still or come out of hiding to make it easier? Unless of course it isn't the angels at all, but just demons created by Lucifer. After all, I mentioned before that an overpopulation issue could work in the angels' favor, as elites like Lucifer could be overwhelmed by the masses, so why wouldn't he try to stop them from becoming too big to control? Of course, he does have dominion over demons, but he couldn't blatantly use that power here. Otherwise, all of the demons would know he is responsible, and resentment would grow. Instead, he would have to hire demons to dress as angels to do his dirty work for him, and in fact, he may not even have to hire them, but instead create them. In the pilot for Hazbin Hotel, we can see that Charlie has two little goat demon bodyguards named Razzle and Dazzle, who according to behind-the-scenes interviews, were just stuffed animals that Lucifer brought to life to protect Charlie. There is no reason to think that he couldn't create his own army of demons with this angelic power and let them loose on hell each year. It would also explain why the exorcists, aside from the mask they are wearing, look so gosh darn demonic and evil, especially considering that we have seen other angels, such as the cherubs in the episode that they were introduced, and they look nothing like the angels that come down to kill the demons each year. This would also make sense from a narrative standpoint, as Vizzypop has explained that the relationship between Charlie and her father will be something explored heavily in the series, and it would be a cruel twist of fate for someone just trying to make their home better, only to learn that their own father was the cause of the problem she's trying fruitlessly to solve. It's also possible that he is just somewhat involved with this, perhaps making a deal with the real angels in order to have it happen to simply maintain control over Hell, as discussed before. And then of course there is my second theory, which circles back to heaven itself. Now, while allowing all of these sinners to overpopulate Hell could backfire on Lucifer, it could also be what leads to him getting victory in the end. Many religions talk about a final war between good and evil, with the Bible being no exception, with all those who go to heaven doing battle with all of those who go to hell. The problem with that is, even outside of the show, the standards for someone to get into heaven are kind of high. The Bible even talks about it being easier to shove a camel through the eye of a needle than it is for a rich man to get into heaven. And in Hazbin Hotel, it doesn't seem much different, with it being pretty hard to get into heaven and pretty easy to get into hell, with them even making a joke about how it would be impossible for a man to get rich and go to heaven because of how much experimentation he would have done on poor people. With that in mind, the final battle would be heaven and the good people of Earth against an army of sinners that could completely overwhelm them with their massive size. All Lucifer would have to do is turn them towards heaven for imprisoning them in hell to begin with. And that is where the extermination comes in. Each year they come down to keep the population of Hell under control, not because they care about the suffering of the people, but because they are preparing for a distant future battle and need the population of Hell to be small enough by then that heaven can actually stand a chance. They could be killing a little bit more people each year, slowly bringing down the numbers down to one they may be able to be. This would also explain why demons like Stolas or whoever is hiring the succubus are so determined to get more sinners each year despite the annual extermination. Unlike the angels, the demons cannot go to heaven and kill angels each year in retaliation, but by tempting the people into sin on Earth, it's at least one more person that isn't going to heaven, even if they just get killed in the extermination upon going to hell. That is a more covert form of warfare that Hell would be doing to also ensure heaven has low numbers when the final battle comes. But so far, these are just my theories. If you have any idea about what else could be happening, leave a comment down below. And one more time, we are holding a live stream Q&A with the Hazbin Hotel pilot cast here on our channel on May 22nd and May 23rd at 10 a.m. on each day. It'll include a time zone calculator so you can figure out exactly when that is for you in a pinned comment down below, as well as a Streamily link that you can use to purchase an autograph from your favorite character's actor that you can watch sign live on the air that weekend. Make sure you subscribe to the channel so you get all of our updates about the event and you don't miss either of the streams. See you guys soon!